But I do think the one thing I could say is there will probably be some very unusual things that happen throughout it. I just think the fact that there are so many games so close to such an important event. So definitely keep an eye out for it. And if it's I happen to be out there, I'm sure I'll do some wacky things intentionally that hopefully entertain some people. I was just, as you were mentioning, just kind of talking about that. I remembered back to, I forget what it was. I don't know if it was World Cup. No, it wouldn't have been World Cup. I think it was Nations League or something. But we were playing Japan. The story comes up a lot because Mara brings it up a lot. And we were in Japan, and me and Steph were talking, and we're trying to work on things in the offense. And again, if you want to make change, if you want to do things, like, it requires an extreme level of risk. It requires you to go very heavy in one direction.
Mm-hmm.
And we kind of had this side bet that he said, okay, it was kind of this thing where, like, can you not run left side once and win this in 3 sets? That was kind of like the game, right? So I set no balls to the left side, and can we still win, or how will we win? Obviously, it came maybe a high ball situation where I go and I have to, like, jack it, and I'm forced to, but in a decision-making situation. And so I'm pretty sure Mara got like 1 set that game, and I think Nick maybe got like 0 or something. And Graham had 26 and somebody else had whatever. And I remember it being really funny because it was like, oh, this is really interesting, because we ended up winning quite handedly by the unorthodox nature of the offense that I was running. And then that's something that, again, like, that's another layer, right? It's like, okay, well, how far can we take certain things, and at which time do you change the channel and go to some, right? Like, at what point in that game should I then start setting Mar, who's against the setter, right? That was another big thing, right? So he's against the setter, Japanese setter, amazing, extremely small blocker, right? So the advantage should be there, but we're like, how do we go into their best blocker and still win? What offensive manipulations can we do to still win that game as efficiently as possible? So I'm sure during Nations League there will be things somewhat similar. Obviously not exactly that,
Yeah, I mean,
but there
like,
will
if
be.
we can refrain from not setting the lefts, like, that's
I'm saving them jumps,
extreme.
man. I'm saving them jumps.
Yeah, but Mar hits the ball hard.
He's got a lot of games to hit the ball hard, so
Yeah,
no problem.
but I mean,
But I
we're
know, but even I just mean the idea. I mean, the idea of every setter that we've heard, right? It's like, oh, you want it to be 33, 33, 33, right? Like but that's a principle on how to run an efficient offense. That doesn't mean that's going to be an efficient offense. You could run 99-1 and win 25-2, right? Like, it's about how are you using those different layers. And that's something that I'm trying to, as much as I can, impart in a lot of setters. And it's like, I'm reflecting mostly back on this NEP group. It's how can you do things so extreme and unorthodox that it becomes your advantage, right? Yes, if you're the guy that touches 380 and you can hit a line shot and a cross shot, you have a lot of room to have an advantage. But if you only touch 330, what are the other things that you can add into your game that can become your advantage? And I think it's more concrete when you look at attackers, or you look at serving, or you look at whatever. When setting, it doesn't have that as much, especially in Canadian kind of culture. So I think something like that, obviously I'm not going to not set the ball to the left side, but I just mean things like that where you're trying to, because I mean, I'm also doing that for a variety of other reasons, but there's a larger game at play. Like, don't keep your focus so narrowed, right? Keep your focus on the outcome and the statistics, sorry, I shouldn't say that, not the focus on the outcome, but I mean, understanding how you got there.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Damn, not setting the left side for an entire match. That's
That
some
was
next
great.
level stuff, especially since you guys walked away with a win too.
It was
That's
so fun. I still remember it because every time, because then it started going on and on and on, and me and Steph were laughing the whole time, and Mars red in the face the whole time. So
oh
officially, I
man.
apologize, Steve, but you know,
Watching actually I remember coaching against Stephen Marr, and this is the OVA 18U final. He's playing with Crush. And we won, the Mavericks team that I was coaching with, we won set number 2 and forced it to a third because we just served Stephen Marr short the entire time. And our right side player got injured, and it was our third middle who was playing right side who was serving him short, and that was the time I've seen Stephen Marr the most mad. And then for some reason we made the decision in set number 3 to go off of Stephen Marr onto Lucas Coleman, and then he unleashed on us in set number 3, and we finished up with the silver medal, and they won gold.
the guy's a good volleyball player.
The guy is an absolute monster.